What's up? I know you guys are like, who is that? And I forgot, I was so excited to be here, I forgot to put makeup on. So this is my real face, my bare face, and what I look like just roaming the streets of Oakland without a care in the world. But I'm glad to be here. You guys don't even know how busy I've been. This is the season when I make my money because this show I do for fun. I mean, I guess it generates some revenue, but my main money comes from other things. And this is the time of year when I am usually kind of tied up and busy. So that's what I've been doing. It's making my moolah. But I'm glad to be here. This is kind of a jerry-rig situation because my daughter's still here and she's using my my studio room to work. And so I kind of set myself up in a little corner of the living room and trying to make trying to make it work. Otherwise, I still wouldn't be doing this show. So welcome back to What the Fuck Tuesday. That was the original day for this show, and we done went to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, we had Monkey Shines Monday for a minute, and now we back on Tuesday, at least for today. Don't hold me to this. This might just be a a one-time shot. But it's good to see everybody. Let me get over here. You miss me, button. Oh, I miss you guys too. Um, yeah, it's been kind of interesting. But let's get into this show. I'm wearing my flummox shirt in honor of the day because I'm flummoxed about what kind of mess these folks done got themselves into. Looks like we have 25. Let me just double check because things just be a little bit different than what we might anticipate. If I could ever grab the sheet of paper, this is. I just want to verify, is it 25 questions? Is it 26 questions? Is it 24 questions? How many questions is it? It looks like, oh, 27 questions. The cover says 25. Somebody was trying to trick me. Somebody named Candace. So anyway, let's get started since this is going to be a long show. If you guys know some other folks that should be over here, go get them. Because I haven't done any promotion. I just decided the other day, oh, I'll be back in town. Let me do this damn show. All right, question number one. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Rialto, California. Survey issue. I got stood up and I need to tell somebody. I got stood up and I waited for 5 hours. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we already do this one? No, I guess not. This is something different. This I remember one about a man who got stood up, but this is a young lady. Okay. She waited for 5 hours. I knew after an hour and a half I should probably go home. By 2.5, I was thinking, well, maybe just 20 more minutes. By 3 hours, I sent a message. By 4 hours, I sent another one. Wow. I'm good for 15 minutes. And then boop, I went home after 5 hours. I killed time. I looked at the old messages to make sure I wasn't crazy. Nope. And he didn't even say sorry. He sent me a selfie this morning like nothing happened. I think I'm just a fool for him to feel good about himself at this point. I feel so dumb, so empty, so silly. I haven't dated in so many years and now this is happening. I'm not even sure. Wait, I am not even that upset about him standing me up. But why did I wait 5 hours as if it was a mistake? I don't. I, my psychic connection is broken. Does that mean I have no self worth? Am I desperate, gullible? I guess I'll just be sad. At least my crush on him went away as I drove home. It feels like a joke when the popular person asks you to the dance, but they were just joking. I'm sad, y'all. I don't know if I even want to do this anymore. Everyone looks ugly or scary to me again. Back to forever being alone. Oh my God, drama queen. Oh well, I'm grateful for any support or instructions that you can provide. The only instructions that I have is, hey goddess, is don't ever wait 5 hours for anybody. If you're not getting paid, you don't devote 5 hours to it. There's just my own personal thought on the matter. Um, by the time you waited 30 minutes, I mean, because like sometimes, like when I go places, I'm waiting for somebody, and it could be my female friends or family member. I don't care who it is. And I'm waiting. The first thing I do when I get up there, they be like, "Can I get you something to drink?" I say, "Hell yeah!" And I'm enjoying my drink. So whether they late or they are not is irrelevant. Now, by the time I finish that drink, and I might, if they have bar stacks like chips and sauce or something, I'm gonna be grubbing. So I've been having a good time by myself. So I don't really pay that much attention to the fact that they're not there. But if 30 minutes, my drink is done, it's time to order another one, or I'm hungry, I want to see some food, and your behind is not there, I'm either gonna go get me a table and eat and then leave, or I'm just going to leave and go somewhere else. So I that would be my instructions, that you consider the value of your time. Like I always say on on this channel, time is finite. You don't never get time back that you wasted. You never get it back. It's gone forever. Now, is that a sensible way for you to invest time in a situation with a complete stranger that you don't know anything about? He ain't paying you. You ain't get no benefits from it. You know, nothing positive is happening for you. What are you there for? That would be my question that you need to ask yourself. Um, I can't answer that for you. All right. I just don't get it. I mean, I guess she was seriously keeping hope alive. That's all I could say. She was keeping hope alive. Question number two. This is a young man, 28 to 34, age group for Virginia Beach, Virginia. Summary of issue. A conversation with my girlfriend about my appearance has left me a little bit heartbroken, and now I'm suffering in silence. Why are you in silence? This sounds like a perfect opportunity to cuss somebody out, but let's see what you did. Around a year ago, I started a fitness journey and began turning my life around health wise after my marriage ended. I made some drastic improvements. I built muscle, I lost weight, and have never been happier with how I look. Oh, look at you. I quickly gained confidence and I put myself back into the dating pool. I met an amazing, beautiful woman, and we have been together for 6 months now. At 34, I'm generally very secure with my appearance. However, I am a logical person, except that she's 31, is much better looking than me, which would also mean that she would have dated attractive guys before me. I tell her regularly how beautiful she is to me, and I have told her that she is the most attractive person I have been with. What'd you tell her that for? Okay, we got to get you some game. She is usually very complimentary in return, but rarely compliments my appearance, and when she does, it's quite reserved and rather nonspecific. As time has gone on, she started frequently making, quote, jokes about my appearance, such as my height, my hair. I buzz cut my hair as I've started to recede a bit, and I think it looks better short, and most of all, the size of my arms. She has made unprompted comments about her usual type being a bigger build than me, and has spoken about dating several bodybuilders in the past. See, messed up. She has also made some comments about having a history of dating black guys. We are both white, by the way. She has assured me that our relationship is deeper than that and that she loves me for what I give her emotionally, which she has never experienced before. And until now, that's been enough for me. But last week, we were talking about okay, his circumcision, which I had as an adult. And she joked that I should have asked him to make it bigger and darker as well. Wow, she said that to you? Dude, I, I made the mistake of asking if that was her preference, and she smiled and looked away. I decided to drive it, but it did bother me when she picked up on it later, asked if she had upset me. This led to a conversation where she said that I'm the only man she's ever loved, but told me she wishes that I were taller, that I had hair, and that my arms were bigger. I also implied that I'm the least attractive person that she has been with. Wow. I now feel deflated and more insecure than I ever was when I was out of shape. I have also become borderline obsessive with my diet and exercise. I trust her completely and appreciate her honesty, but part of me wishes I didn't know how much she would change about me if she could. I know I need to communicate this with her, but I also know that a line has been crossed and no amount of talking will erase this knowledge or the feeling I had when she told me this. How do I go on in this situation? You don't. Young lad, let me tell you something. See, some of this may be because, I mean, I'm just guessing here. Some of this may be because in your past you felt like you were, not really in good shape and you were overweight and, you know, all this weightlifting and muscle building and all stuff is new to you. So I'm assuming because a lot of people, they have pain associated with the way that they look. That's why they decide to change. Something hurts them. Either they've been hurt or, repetitive comments from other people hurt them. They look in the mirror and they feel hurt. They may be suffering from health conditions that are hurting them. We don't know. But what we do know is that when I worked as a trainer, every single person who was my client that signed on for personal training and assistance was in pain. They had different ways of expressing it, but they were hurting. So with this situation here, you've been complimenting her, you blew her head up, telling her how great she is and all this kind of stuff. So of course now she thinks she's too good for you. It's fine to give a compliment, when people are deserving of one. Like you guys get dressed up and you going out and say, "Oh, honey, that dress is great on you. I'm gonna be, good to have you on my arm tonight." You see what I mean? See how I did that? I put a parameter around that shit. You don't just walk around telling some girl, "Oh, she's the best one you've ever been with," and all this old stuff here. You don't ever say that to anybody. So please learn a lesson from this, and those young men listening to this, and you girls too. That's not the kind of thing that you say to somebody. You set yourself up like that, because soon enough you keep saying it, they're going to be thinking, "Well, shit, why am I with you then? Because I could probably do better since I'm that fantabulous." So you have to balance this up because some people are stupid, like this girlfriend you have. So what I'm going to suggest you do is find your nuts, go and sit her down and say, "Look, the stuff that you said to me the other day lets me know that you really don't think I'm shit. And so what I'm going to do, I want you to get everything that you got, that you have in my place, and I want you to take it. I want you to hit the door and don't you ever come back. I want you and your smart mouth and your fucked up attitude to get out of my life and don't you ever even think about contacting me again. One thing I'm not going to tolerate is anybody disrespecting me like you did. So, bet you get the fuck out of my life and then you just throw her out." Now, would you probably do that? Probably not, but that's what she needs to hear. That's what you need to do. If you want this woman to at least in the future think about you with a certain level of respect, you better channel your inner Deborah and cuss her bitch ass out. This is not going to work. You can't be a young man walking around this planet just folding up like that because some woman said something negative to you. You're supposed to say something, either cut her down back because there's obviously something that she must be sensitive or about or insecure about and stuff. You were supposed to lob that back at her like a grenade in that moment. She's talking about you, whatever that thing is with her. You were supposed to talk about it right then and there to bring her down to size. But it's too late to do that now. But you are going to deliver the speech I just said, and you're going to dump her. That's what you're going to do. Find your self-respect. And in the future, don't ever let anyone disrespect and talk to you like that. The second they get out of pocket, you check them. All right. Question number 3. I just hate people like this. She just stupid, just so disrespectful. Female, 22 to 27, from Pueblo, Colorado. Summary of issue: I regret marrying my husband, especially after he ruined my birthday. How can I fix what I'm feeling? It's called an annulment. Okay. Oh, I need more lights. I didn't bring my lights in here. I'm just using this raggedy lamp. This is not even working. Well, we'll do it. We're gonna make this work, y'all. I'll figure out something better for the next time. My husband is 23 and I'm 22, and we got married a month ago. I kept wanting to break the relationship off because there were so many things I didn't like about my husband, and I feel like I was settling. I always looked at other guys and thought about how much happier I would be with them. Wow, but you married him anyway. You were stupid. My husband is attractive when he wants to be, but he turns me off all the time by acting goofy and not wanting to take serious photos, take care of his hygiene, or clean up his apartment. There were some aspects of his personality I also didn't find attractive, but I had to come to love and accept. Wow. He chose not to write his wedding vows because he's not a writer. He just wanted to speak from his heart. I was nervous because I thought he would say something off brand, and sure enough, he made it a comedy show. I thought he wasn't genuine, and I wanted to get people to wanted to get people to laugh. Our honeymoon was a disaster. He was more focused on his new GoPro than me, which I understand he just wanted to make memories with it. I also got sick, and he pushed me to go out and do fun things rather than rest. For my birthday, he took me on a trip since he knows I love traveling. I didn't grow up playing outside often, and he wanted to take me on a bike ride for my birthday to breakfast. I don't know how to ride a bike. And while he was sweet enough to teach me, he immediately took me onto the sidewalk and I almost got hit by a car. I had an anxiety attack, and I don't know why he didn't want to start slow. Later that day, he took an inexperienced rock climber up a wall, which also wasn't fun. I get that he's adventurous, but doing that stuff on my birthday is not my idea of fun. He made me cry because I didn't enjoy my birthday at all and had anxiety attacks with all the new stuff I was doing. He never asked if I had done that stuff before and rarely asked me questions about myself. To top it off, he thought it would make me smile and be funny by putting a five candle on my cake. I'm 22, not five. I love him, but I'm not happy. What do you love about this guy? I I'm confused. Maybe I'm too ungrateful and spoiled. No, you were just stupid though to marry him. Maybe I have unrealistic expectations. Yeah, you do that you thought he would change because you got married. He ruined my birthday. Perhaps I need therapy. I feel like he ruins everything. He doesn't even get to know me and doesn't even know what I like for a proposal on a birthday nonetheless. But you still married him. So whose fault is that? Don't come whining to me now, all after the fact, when you made a whole bunch of stupid decisions. Instead of enjoying talking to me or getting to know me better, he's on his phone or the GoPro recording. I keep fantasizing about a divorce or cheating, even though I'm loyal and I'm not a cheater. I'm upset he can't do these grand gestures that all my friends get from their men. Maybe I'm an overthinker, but I don't know what to do. Am I expecting too much? Could you advise me on what to think and help me out here? Yes. Won't you go back from your honeymoon, which I guess you are now? Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Mo. Everybody's like, oh, look who that is. What you want to do is when you get back, you want to consult an attorney and figure out how to annul this shit. That's what you want to do. And it'll be like you never married him. It's not a divorce, it's an annulment. Now, where are you again? I forgot where you said you are. Oh, Colorado. I don't know what the laws are about it there, but find out because sometimes there's a time limit like 60 days, 30 days, 90 days, something, whatever, before then you have to get an official divorce. What you want to do is get away from him in the annulment phase and then go on with your life. Hey, pretty and pink, you don't want to continue this. And in the future, I mean, it sounds to me like you were more focused on the fact that you were going to get married, that you had a fiance. Remember, ladies, I talk about that all the time. These young girls, like once a dude says he wants to marry him and they get a ring and they can say, my fiance, they lose their damn minds. All sense of reason and logic goes out the window. And they take disrespect. They deal with stupidity, nonsense. The dude just treating them all bad because, but we're going to get married. It's like with no concern about, well, what are you marrying though? You're marrying a fool. So what are you doing? Sometimes it's better to be single, like, as you so discovered. Well, welcome everybody to a show that hasn't been around for a minute because I've been doing other things. Try to get back into it though. Shit, it's summertime. Supposed to be winding up to do the what is it called? The Dusty News Network. I don't know if that's gonna happen this year. I am so busy with my money making ventures. Just busy. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Augusta, Georgia. The male is 20 to 34. So I have an issue. My boyfriend keeps trying to purposely make me jealous to get a reaction out of me. I am 26 and I've been dating my boyfriend who is 29 for a short period, maybe around 3 months. So it's nothing too serious at this point. Still, I've been noticing some behaviors that seem deliberately aimed at making me jealous or to get a reaction from me. He's actually expressed before that he wants me to be more jealous, but I'm just not naturally that way, and that seems to bother him. Here are some examples of what I've been experiencing. One, he talks to other women online and leaves me on read during those interactions. Number two, he also complains I don't talk to him enough, even though I'm always the one initiating our conversations. Number three, he's made, quote, jokes like, you better step up your game. Female friend might steal me from you. I've told him I don't find that funny. And he stopped the, quote, jokes when I said I didn't find it funny. Number four, he ends our conversation early because his, quote, female friend is calling. Number five, he talks about showing off his muscles to his female friends and how they compliment him and then claims I don't compliment him enough, despite the fact that I tell him he's handsome, smart, and good looking every day. Number six, he compliments other women in front of me and talks about how they have so many similar interests as him. One important thing to remember, I have a diagnosed attachment disorder, very low self-esteem, and he knows this. What you tell him that for? See what I mean about people having big mouths? You have big mouths, you ladies tell stuff to these stupid men. You barely know this clown, and you tell them all this stuff about how vulnerable you are, where you vulnerable, and how to fuck you over. You just gave him the keys to do it with your big ass mouth. He should have never known that. That's something that you talk about with your shrink, and that's the only person you talk to about it. You never tell boyfriends this kind of stuff. It's not their damn business. What are he gonna do about it? Okay, that was a bonehead move right there. Okay, given everything, I'm feeling confused, hurt, and kind of dismissed. Should I just cut my losses and break up with him? Obviously. I mean, you should have done that as soon as he started that make you jealous game. What you were supposed to do, let me go back so I did it. Okay. You don't talk to him enough. Okay, wait. He makes jokes like you better step up your game. She might steal me from you. You were supposed to say she don't need to go through all that because I will put a bone in your ass and give you to her. See, that's how you come back with people like that. You make let him know you don't have no power here. I'm not gonna be tripping with you like that. If she wants you, I will give you to her. No argument with a bow on it. Might even throw in a Starbucks gift card for the trouble. He says he had to end his conversation because his female friend is calling. Well, you're supposed to say, wait till the next time you call. Oh, I gotta go because my male friend is calling. Just play the same games back to him. I mean, it's stupid. I know it's childish, but it's about what he has. He has to feel what you feel, and obviously, since he wants you to be jealous, that means he is right because you not tripping on him like that. And you tell him he's handsome, good looking stuff every day. He compliments other women in front of you. That's when you're supposed to invite him to go over there or go over there yourself. I did this one time too. I got up and I went to the table where the girl was. I said, see that dude over there? Is he, what do you think about him? And she's like, look, she looked confused. And she's like, I thought he was with you. I said, yeah, but girl, he's just my cousin. It's no big deal. Come on over here with me. Let me introduce you. And I took her over there and introduced him. And they got my shit and left. I'm not playing these games with these dudes. He was sitting there with his face like Pikachu face, like he couldn't believe it. But I mean, she, evidently thought he was cute. She had been looking at him too when he was looking at her. And I'm like, I just don't. I the only time I had a jealous, I was jealous one time in my life, and I thought I was gonna die. And it was a man I later married, so that was appropriate. But yeah, I was like, I had my hair did and everything. That's why I used to get a relaxer, and my hair was all curled and stuff. And you know how they do the little bangs and stuff to the side. That was the style in the '90s. And it's all swooped to the side, and I had a little curls and stuff. And so I felt like I saw him. I broke up with him, and so I really didn't have any reason to be mad because I was the one who initiated it. But he was out with some other girl, and she was all draped over him. And I turned around and I saw that, and I felt this instant like flush of heat go through my body. My face got red. I broke out in a sweat. My little hair that was all laid, all cute and curled, it was stuck to my head because my whole scalp got sweaty. I started hyperventilating. My heart was racing. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was like, what's wrong? I feel like I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm having a heart attack. I'm going to die. But my friend said, no, you just was jealous. That's all it was. I was like, what? I don't never want to feel this again. So I felt that one time. And if that's what people feel all the time when they get jealous, I don't know how y'all do it. That one time was enough for me. Woo, I couldn't know. It was horrible. But, and like I said, I felt stupid because I was the one who broke up with him. I didn't have a right to be jealous. So, I had to talk myself off the edge there. But yeah, jealousy is nothing to play with. And when people I could imagine someone trying to intentionally incite that kind of emotional response from me. I would have to let them go. That's not healthy. Let's move on. Question number 5. This is a young lady that says, my grandpa rather passed away today, and my partner decided to go out to dinner. How do I tell him that I'm really hurt by this? My grandpa passed away today. He lives in another country, so unfortunately I cannot attend the funeral or be with my family. My partner and I had dinner reservations. I was looking forward to the last few weeks, but given today's events, I just really don't feel like going out. My partner, saying it would be rude to stand up a reservation, there's no phone number to cancel it, decided to go to dinner on his own. This is making me reconsider my relationship. Do I really want to be with someone who even thinks about going out to dinner on a day like this? I'm incredibly disappointed and sad. He asked me after he got ready if I'm okay with him going. I should have probably said no, but I was just so astonished and upset that he was even considering it that I didn't want him around anymore. So I said I won't say no. He ended up leaving. Now I'm alone and said, well, you were stupid. What you were supposed to do is get dressed and go to dinner. Was you not going to dinner going to make your grandfather come back alive? He was a grandfather. That means dad was old. He was going to die someday soon some point. You should have been prepared for that. When people get old, that's what usually happens. The next step is they croak. Okay. I mean, I hate to be so blunt, but that's the reality of it. They ain't gonna be having no second lifespan or jump up and start playing bocce ball with you and basketball and whatnot. It's not gonna happen. They're going to die, and that's just the reality of life. So what you're supposed to do is go out to dinner, and then you talk about your grandfather, and you all make a toast to your grandfather, and you would celebrate your grandfather's life. You could have flipped this situation around to been a happy memory. You might have cried a few tears, whatever, but it could have been a happy memory because you couldn't be with the other family, but you could have been with your boyfriend. But instead, you chose to sit there and pout like a big baby and be by yourself. Well, that was your damn choice. Hey, honey Lee, it's like everybody's showing up. I mean, that was your choice, so don't get mad at him and you rethink a relationship. You need to rethink yourself because the one who messed this up was you. Now, when one world, if I had reservations for weeks, you have the restaurant is so popular that you have to be on the reservation list for weeks before you go, and you just not gonna go because your grandfather died in another country. Like you could do something about it, girl. You was tripping. Let's move on. Ooh, Lord have mercy. That's why I'm wearing my shirts. Flummoxed. See, every time I read these questions, I get more and more in the flummox zone. Question number 6. This is a male in 18 to 21 age group from Boston. Summary of issue. My girlfriend went berserk on me. 2 days ago, my girlfriend, she's 19, 5 months, and I'm 21. We're walking around in the grocery store, and she saw a girl that asked for my number in the past. And then she asked me if I thought the girl was pretty. I said to my girlfriend, I thought she wasn't, of course. And I said that my girlfriend was prettier. Good move. You're smart. Well, she could have got some empathy if she went with him. And the main thing about okay, besides okay, let's go back to this because, I've gone through recently a whole bunch of, I don't know, it's like the year for people to be dying. I don't know what's going on. But okay, so people say the little polite things, I'm sorry for your loss, one, which they probably are because they like you and they hate to see you going through, something that hurts you. I'm all with that. Okay, but other than that, what can this person do? They feel helpless. You feel, just grieving. You feel help. I mean, it's nice that people say that they express their concern for you. Don't get me wrong. But in all actuality, what can they do about it? So for her to say, to be angry at him because he didn't change his life to stay home with her and look at her look all ugly in the face and cry about a man in another country. I mean, what was he supposed to do? With him there or with him not there, how was it going to change anything about this man dying? See, this is when, you have to be realistic. Maybe it's just me, because when people, I mean, I just don't be tripping like that. So people say, "Oh, so and so died." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is messed up." I know you miss them. You guys sound like you guys had a great relationship. Especially if I heard stories about the person, I would reflect with them like that. Yeah, I hate that I never got to taste your daddy's barbecue, but you know, I'm sure he's up there, he up there grilling it up and have himself a good old time up and doing wherever he is, and say stuff like that and make people smile. I try to think of the nice things about the person if I heard stories about them from, my friend or family member, whatever. I say something like that. But in the reality, don't be mad at people because they don't sit there and look at you cry. They don't, there's nothing they can do. So having that expectation of them is unfair, it is unwarranted, and it's not going to help your relationship with your friends, family, whatever. It's not going to help. Sometimes you just need to just cry it out, and you can do that by yourself. Okay, that's the real way I feel about it. Wolf film. Yeah, you all call. I said I did. I didn't put any makeup on because I was so excited about doing the show. So my bare face. This is me barefaced. Where's Shay's here? Be like, girl, you better put that intermission sign on and go put on some lipstick or something. Okay, let's move on. So he's back to the question where the girlfriend went berserk. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, the girlfriend was pretty. Apparently, this was the wrong answer, as she proceeded to be rude to me and saying, "Oh no, so you think she pretty?" And I said, "No." She then left and decided to call the jewelry store that the girl worked at to hear what she sounded like. Wow. I told her that was unacceptable and ridiculous, and she began to cuss me out. Then I told her I was breaking up with her. Good job. Later that day, she came over after I told her not to, and I stayed in my car while she was outside of it screaming and cussing me out. She began to say, "You never loved me. You just used me for nook nook and things of that nature." She also started banging. Wow, this girl is a nut job. She started banging on my window and tried sticking her arm through the crack of my window trying to open the door. The next day, she started to apologize profusely, and she was very clearly distraught about the whole thing. I told her I'd stay with her, but I really don't feel the same after all that happened. I just really need some advice and other opinions about the whole situation. Well, y'all can share your thoughts and opinions, but on my opinion, when you said you broke up with her, you should have stayed broke up. Because what you did now by giving in and said you was going to stay with her, basically what that does is it gives her the belief that that shit that she did is okay. That's acceptable because she gonna still have you now. So you're supposed to remove yourself from that equation forever because you don't want somebody in your life who's going to be cutting up and acting a fool like that. Oh, God, that just reminds me when my brother first, was he? I think he was still in law. Was he still in law school? I think he was still in law school. This is my youngest brother. And he was dating this girl, and I met the little girl. She was cute, but I'm like, something not quite right about this chick. I couldn't really put my finger on it. She was too clingy or something. And my brother's an Aquarius, and he's just kind of like, all over the place. And everybody likes him, so everybody talks to him. Everybody wants to be in his face. Men, women, old, young, kids, dogs, it don't matter. Everybody loves this boy. And he's been like that since he was like a tiny baby. And so he brings this girl to a work party at this law firm he was interning at. And one of the older legal secretaries, I mean, old enough to be my brother's mother for real, was talking to him. And the little girlfriend went crazy. It was like cussing the woman out. And this is at the law firm where our brother's there, with the partners and I just, and, like, it's the very few black folks up in there. You know how that is. And she was just acting a zip damn fool. My brother called to tell me about it, and he was so irate. And I was everything I do to keep from holding back the laughter. But I was like, I told you something was wrong with that girl. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but she was just giving me the ick. And so he broke up with her after that. But in the meantime, he had to do so much damage control, because everybody was at the party and everybody at the firm knew he was dating a fool. So when you're dating a fool, it makes you look like one too. But he weathered the storm. He eventually made partner there and everything. But all that was unnecessary. She just was doing it the absolute most. All right, let's move on. God, I'm only on question number 7. I got to stop with these side stories. She's 22 to 27 from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Summer of issue. My boyfriend doesn't like how I dress. Dump his ass, Dan. Is this a, a trick question? I'm 23 and my boyfriend is 25, and he has this weird tension about how I dress. For example, last week I wore baggy sweatpants and a tight top that showed a bit of cleavage. It's not cropped, just a tank top with a V cut in it and built-in padding to the gym. And he was giving me the eye and looking me up and down, asking, "Where's your shirt?" There have been multiple instances where I either wear something with him or wear something out with friends, and he's making eyes at me trying to communicate, "Are you really wearing that?" Or he would straight up ask, "Are you seriously wearing that?" I don't know what to do. I've had multiple occasions where this has happened, and he argues that I'm doing it for attention. I shouldn't dress like that because I'm in a relationship. But I argue that I can wear whatever I want and I want to feel good. I have examples of him not liking my wardrobe or wearing a mini skirt with built-in shorts and a long sleeve top and knee-high boots, wearing a bodysuit and jeans with a V cut at the top, showing my cleavage, wearing loose shorts that reach just above my fingertips with my arms down to the gym. He called them short shorts. He'll often comment on my clothing, and after I defend myself, he will notify me a few minutes later that, "Oh, I don't think the shorts are that short." So it kind of feels like a mind game. I'm not sure what to do because I think he's a great man, but I do not want to be controlled in what I wear. My opinion is that it's my body and I can dress however I want. I can dress sexy whenever I want, and I can dress more modest whenever I want. I grew up in a household that made me dress super modest. I'm talking skirts below the knees and no collarbone or elbow showing. So this is something I feel strongly about. In case you're wondering, in my previous relationship, I wear whatever I wanted. My partner never batted an eye. I've actually told this to my current boyfriend, and he argues that because my ex cheated on me, I shouldn't hold any weight to that. Also, when I was single, I dressed more freely, but I've toned it down a lot since I've been with him. How do I handle this? Any advice would be appreciated. Well, I'm going to tell you this. There's when you're dealing with a situation where you're going to be out in public with teenage boys, other women's husbands, other women's boyfriends, teenage boys, pervy old men, and you got a man, when you do too much, it's disrespecting him. Because, like my grandfather used to tell us, if you don't have nothing to sell, don't advertise. That's all I needed to hear. I understood. When I went places with my husband or my boyfriend, well, then all bets are off. I'm the biggest hoe there is. But if I'm by myself, I'm gonna tone that shit so down because I don't want to send the wrong message by the way that I'm, exposing myself that this is available for you to gawk at, touch, or try to get with. Now, some people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's rape culture and this and that, blah 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 stuff." I'm like, I don't care what you want to call it. I'm just telling you that men are stupid. And if you know that men are stupid, why would you put yourself in a position to invite stupidity into your life? They already bad enough sometimes when you be with your dude. You know what I mean? Your dude is right here. And they still be trying to give you the eye and stuff. Some clowns are just so disrespectful. So I'm saying as a woman, when you by yourself, unless you know Muay Thai or you like a third degree black belt or some shit, you're pretty defenseless against idiots. So what you try to do is mitigate any involvement with them at all possible. You can look cute. You can be, still sexy. You can look businesslike, professional, attractive, all these things, nice, whatever the word is people want to use, but you don't have to show all your tits. You don't have to show all your ass, and you don't have to wear shorts so loose they show your pubic hairs. Okay? Don't do that. I saw a girl do that at the gym. She had them loose shorts like that, and she was not wearing any panties. It was so gross. I went because she was sitting on all the equipment with I went to the front desk. I'm like, get that bitch out of here. She's putting coochie juice on all the equipment and she's not wiping it down. And it's gross. And so they watched it for a minute because they didn't believe, because you know how I'm going to say stuff. They couldn't believe it. And they were like, oh my God. The girls at the front desk was like, oh my God, that's so gross. Is she scared to get an infection? I'm like, obviously not. It's more important for her to flash the dudes because that's what she was doing. They were looking and she was, legs out. You know what I mean? She was putting on a show as it's more for her to flash the dudes than it is for her to get workout and do things in a way that's sanitary for herself as well as the other members. So they had to talk with her and send her home to change. Yeah. Oh, hey Maya. It's not that much because I keep veering into left field. You know how I do. But yeah, I'll never forget that I was so grossed out. But the guys were talking about her bad. I don't know why she thought that that was something, she was getting some kind of love. They were like, oh my God, they thought like, oh, what a hoe. They had no respect for her. So, yeah, you can dress how you want and you can dress it, but I'm just telling you as a young woman, this is the reality of the world that we live in. You certainly can dress whatever way you want to, as long as you're prepared to deal with any repercussions that may come from it, because exposing all of that, to all these endless single men or some married men trying to creep or whatever the situation is, it just sends an interesting kind of little message when you're by yourself, okay? Just be cognizant of it. Watch for it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Even if they control themselves and don't say anything while you're there, you'll be able to tell by their looks what's going on in their mind. And it's not going to be good. And it's disrespectful to your dude. It puts him in a situation where, he might have to fight to defend you because some dude got, too overly excited by looking at your tatas or your booty cheeks hanging out of your shorts. Think about it. Question number 8. This is a female in the 20, because like I said, folks is dumb, and then they get that fire water in them too. It's all bad. Okay, she's 22 to 27 from Sugar Land, Texas. Oh my God. Boyfriend, tell me an issue. My boyfriend humiliated me in front of his close friends, and now he's the one giving me the silent treatment. I was silent his ass right on out the door. We were on a video call with his close friends, who have also become my friends over time. I was excited to share that I've been learning how to drive. It's a big deal for me. I told him, you tell him. We're thinking he teased me a little, which I was okay with. That's just how he and his friends joke. Everything's very surface level, sarcastic, and goofy. But this time it went too far. He exaggerated my driving mistakes to make everyone laugh, saying things like how I panicked, stopped in the middle of the road, didn't follow directions, etc. Even when I tried to explain myself and clarify the situation, he kept interrupting and pushing back, almost like it was a debate about who's right. I could feel myself tearing up, and his friends noticed and tried to cheer me up. I even said, this is going too far, but he didn't stop. What hurt the most wasn't the joke itself. It was the fact that even when it was clear I was upset, he still didn't stop. He didn't protect me. He didn't say, okay, that's enough, or back me up. He just kept going, like proving his point was more important than how I felt. To make things worse, now he's giving me the silent treatment. We haven't spoken a word since, even while doing errands together. The part that frustrates me is I know if I ask him why he's not talking to me, he'll say my words upset him and that he had to react this way. He always flips it around like that. And you still with him now. I don't even feel like I can be myself when his friends are around and he's there. But it's just me and them. We actually have meaningful conversations. But when he's in the mix, I'm always second guessing what I should or shouldn't say. And the truth is, I've told him before that I didn't grow up with sarcasm and mocking being a normal form of connection. It might be funny to him, but it really affects me. We were long distance for 3 years and just moved in together 3 months ago. So we're still navigating a lot of things, but situations like this make me feel emotionally unsafe. It's not just about the joke, it's about how he treats my feelings when I'm feeling vulnerable. And the fact that he's now avoiding me like I did something wrong makes me feel abandoned, not supported. What should I do? You should move the fuck right back out. See, this is what I always tell people about them long distance relationships. You don't never know somebody until you are with them on a well, at least on a mostly daily basis. Like you don't have to move in with them. You could go for a week long vacation somewhere and get an idea of what is being around his ass on a daily basis would be like. In this case, you can see that I'm gonna tell you what's really going on. He's insecure. He's scared. He's nervous because his friends like you. And now he's feeling threatened. Like they may even made some jokes about, man, you better treat her right, or I'll take her. I mean, dude stuff. Not to say that they would really try to do it, but it's for a man who's insecure to hear that he's gonna take it seriously. So I'm thinking it's something like that. He can see that his friends, admire you and think that you're a great person, all this other stuff. So it's making him, that's how he's responding. He's trying to do things to put you down that make you seem like you're not as good as they think you are. That's what's going on here. You don't see it, but that's exactly what's going on. So what I'm going to suggest that you do is were long distance and you moved in 3 months ago. Wherever you move from, pack your shit and go back there and end all ties to this man. You think that this is an isolated thing. I'm telling you, this is the tip of the iceberg. Anybody who would think that they would talk to their girlfriend like that to the point where you're in tears, if you ask him to stop doing something to you that's hurting you, whether it's physical or emotional, and he keeps doing it anyway, and you stay with him, when you stay with him, what you're basically teaching him is that it's okay to treat you that way. It's okay to talk to you like you have a tail. It's okay to ignore your boundaries. It's okay to ignore your no. It's okay to hurt you. When you stay with a man who does that kind of stuff to you, that's what that means. So you need to, I'm telling you, take this seriously and cut this fool loose. Okay? Go back to wherever it is you came from. If you want to stay there, then you find a place with maybe rent with a girl, find a girl who's looking for a roommate or something and move with her. But whatever you do, you end this. This guy is going to destroy you if you stay with him because you'll be too emotionally attached and you'll be looking for validation from him. And he's going to just knock you down peg after peg after peg until you're nothing and he can feel like the big man on campus. Yeah, I'm like, psh. But she's young. She don't know the game yet. But as soon as they start that shit, I'm like, okay, is this what we doing? Don't let me know some shit about you because I'm getting ready to hurt every feeling you ever had. I'm going to talk about you so bad. And then I'm going to go in and talk about your mama and your raggedy ass baby mama. I'm going to talk about your raggedy ass, bratty ass kids. I'm going to talk about your dog ass daddy. I'm going to talk about your trifling best friends. I'm just going to go down the list. I'm going to talk about everybody because you had the gall to say something about me. So all bets are off now. This mouth here, once it gets going, it's all bad. That's why I be quiet, try to be quiet a lot. I say the most words I ever say when I'm on this show. The rest of my life, I just be looking at people, sizing them up, and just, figuring out what's going on with them and if it's somebody I want to talk to again or not. Question number 9. This is a female in 22 to 27 age group from New Haven, Connecticut. The young man is 18 to 21. Third issue. My boyfriend is begging me not to go on a family trip. For some context, we've been together for about 2 years, and my boyfriend has really bad anxiety, but refuses to get on medication, go to therapy, etc. He has bad anxiety and overthinks whenever we're not together. Okay, so you with a mental patient, and you write me an advice letter asking what you should do? Woo! We see each other around 3 times a week, one sleepover and one extra hangout, but he's still constantly saying it wasn't enough for him. There's this trip my parents invited me to go on with to visit their home country. I've never been there, and I don't know when I'll be able to ever go there with them again. We've been talking about it for a year and brought up to my boyfriend about 3 months ago. It will be for 2 weeks, and initially my parents offered to take him with us if he covered his plane ticket. But once he learned the price, he decided he most likely cannot come, and since then he's been begging me not to go either. He said he can't handle 2 weeks apart, and when I told him I confirmed the trip with him already, he got very upset that I went through with it, even though he said he expressed that it would hurt him a lot. Even though I told him I'm not sure when the opportunity to travel with them will come again, he insists I either have my parents postpone their trip for another year when he can afford it, figure out a way for him to come along, or I just shouldn't go because it will hurt him a lot. I honestly don't know what to do. I feel like he's completely ignoring my reasoning for wanting to go. We can handle 2 weeks apart. Trip won't be for a few more months, and I told him I would call him every night and text every day, but he doesn't seem to care. He's constantly just telling me how anxious, upset, and hurt and sleep deprived he is over it. What do I do? It's really putting a strain on our relationship. Break up with him and then go on the trip. That's what you do. I mean, first of all, you dealing with a mental patient. He's 18 to 21. He's already fucked up in the head and having anxiety attacks and can't be by himself. Get him an emotional support dog with one of them little vests on it so he can take it with him everywhere he goes. And then you get on the airplane and you go wherever it is you're trying to go. That's what I would do. But personally, I mean, since you've seen the love and want to be with him, personally, as soon as he started with that nonsense, telling me I'm not gonna go, I'll be like, "Fuck you very much," and let's break up. Because I don't want to be bothered with a boyfriend who's trying to tell me I can't go somewhere with my own parents to see my own family because his feelings and his nightmares. Motherfucker, you better drop a Xanax or something and make the magic happen. I don't know what else to tell you. But it's not, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and you just going to like it. And that would be what he got from me. Yeah, he broke, talking about he can't go. They was gonna pay for everything else. I mean, if he worked some overtime or got him a part-time job or something, he could have got the money for his ticket right quick. Can't be that much. But I like having money in the bank. I like it when I can go and just write a fact check and not have to worry about, ooh, is there nothing there to cover it? Question number 10, female 22 to 27 from Burbank, California. Summer issue, I'm wondering if my boyfriend is an alcoholic. Well, girl, if you got to ask this question, the answer is most likely yes. I'm 23 and my boyfriend is 26, and we've been together for almost a year. Lately, I've started to feel concerned about his drinking habits. Before we met, I drank maybe once, twice a month, just socially with food or friends. Now it's more like twice a week, which is fine, but I still don't drink to get drunk. My boyfriend, on the other hand, almost always drinks to the point of being drunk. He rarely stops at just one or two. It usually starts with a beer, then it moves to vodka, wine, etc., and keeps going until late at night. He only stops when I say I want to go to bed. Last week he got drunk 4 nights in a row. Wow. A lot of it is tied to social stuff, watching football at bars with friends, but even after the game ends, he keeps drinking. He's not aggressive or mean when he drinks. He's actually really sweet, but it feels like he doesn't have an off switch. I'm worried, not just about his health, but about what this might mean long term. It feels like he drinks to his limit every time, and I'm not sure if that's normal or if it's something I should bring up. How do I talk to him about this without sounding like I'm trying to control him? I'm trying to figure out, okay, you got somebody who's a drunk. He gets shit faced 4 nights a week, and he's only this age. But I remember being young. He's 26 years old, and he's already that much of a drunk. Do you know how fried his liver and kidneys are? What is in his future health wise, drinking that much at that age? I didn't even start drinking really till I was about 26. I would have like a beer, I would drink a beer or something. I just was a lightweight. And then I discovered this drink. What was it called? I can't remember. Something with a Stoli float. And it had like this chocolate bottom and put whipped cream on and stuff. It's more like a milkshake with a little bit of a kick. Man, I could drink those things. I said, is this liquor? This is fabulous. So that was my beginning of my journey. Then my daddy, said, well, I can have a kid drink with me. So I'm like, oh, I never drank with my daddy before, but he only drinks Hennessy. But then as I got me some Hennessy, I was like, oh, this is like the best. And so there you go. That was the beginning of my alcohol journey. I haven't had a drink now for a couple of weeks. I've been working, so no drinking. Let's move on to question. Oh, so how did you gonna talk to him about this? Let's see. That's what was. I got distracted. What you're gonna say is, look, you drinking too much. I want you to go to, well, think about going to Alcoholics Anonymous because I really think that's what's going on here. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm not gonna do is be with a drunk because the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna drive drunk and you're gonna total out your car and you're gonna either maim, kill, or destroy yourself or someone else and I don't want that person to be me. So I'm a deuce out of this situation, and when you get cleaned up, you let me know. That's how I do it. I don't do druggies and I don't do drunks. Nope, can't do it. Question number 11. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Petaluma, California. Third issue. I need relationship advice. Deb, I've been dating this guy for a while now, and he has moved in. Originally, when he moved in, we discussed that I'd give him a few months prior to charging him rent. He didn't really love the fact, but said okay, but we had a bit of back and forth prior to that. He split utilities with me and we split grocery items. We never ended up talking about rent because talking about money is always a hard thing. I don't know why. He lives in a 4 bedroom house with me. But last night I finally opened up to talk to him about it. I pay about $3,000 in rent a month, and I would have been paying the same with or without him. That's true. I make enough to pay the rent, but now recently I've been wanting to buy a house and thought that I could be saving more if he pitched in. I asked if it's okay if he pitches in like 500 a month to help out. It's not really his rent, but just as part of living here. He doesn't have a job right now, but he has half a mil in savings. He got a little upset and asked me if this is happening because I found out how much money he had in his savings because he doesn't have a job, although he hasn't really been motivated to get one, has been living off of his savings. I mean, to me, I've been wanting to ask him, but now it's about to hit a year of him moving in. I thought it was good timing. I happen to have asked him after finding out, but I just honestly been wanting to ask, but I don't like asking people for money because it's a hard topic. No, it's not. He said he's perfectly fine moving out, and if he had to pay, he'd rather move out and pay for something he owns. Although realistically, I don't think he's adding factors in, such as everything is expensive, especially in $500 is nothing. I'm at a crossroads. He said, should I be okay since I've been paying this amount before he even came into the photo and would be paying the same if he moves out? I make more than him, and ratio wise, although he has way more money than me in savings, he is not really making anything besides his interest. If I love him, should I be okay with the fact that he is living off of his savings, trying to figure out his life, but doesn't really want to help with paying for the house since I make more? What is your and the squad's opinion? I would really appreciate advice. Let me flip back to this because I'll be reading and I don't be paying attention. Hold on a second here. It's okay. Okay, so you're the 22 to 27 age group in Petaluma. You don't say how old he is. Okay. Usually they say how old the guy is, but we'll just assume he's somewhere around your age, maybe slightly older. I'm going to say this: by living with you, you know what you're trying to do to have him pay $500 so you can save more money. That's what he's doing by living with you. Because see, if he lived somewhere and he had to have pay his own rent, his savings would dwindle away pretty quickly there, or he'd have to get a job. Whereas with you, he doesn't have to do that. He's cushioned because you're paying the biggest bill in the house, which is the rent. So what you should do is consult an attorney and then file, whatever eviction paperwork you need to file and let him move out. And then with one of them 4 bedrooms you could rent it to a young lady for $1,000 a month or more, and then you could save that much money for towards buying your house. You got 4 bedrooms. How many bedrooms do you need? You only need one. So you got 3 other rooms that you can rent out. You would be like not paying any rent and making an income. So think about that. Yeah, I would be like, who is this? I don't want you to be promoting here. Where do I get rid of this? I don't even know how to get rid of it. People are so rude. They just come in with their promotions and shit on people's channel. Knucklehead. Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. Never mind, I'll do it after. So anyway, yeah, that's what you should think about, girlfriend. You just getting used. I don't know why these women let these men move in with them. Why do you do that? You know, you shouldn't do that. Question number 12. This is a female, 22 to 27 from Tallahassee, Florida. Term issue. Would you continue to see someone if they had bed bugs? Oh, hell no. Are you kidding me? Weird question, I know. My boyfriend and I have only been seeing, oh, I'm starting to itch just thinking about it. We've only seen each other 3 months now. He's been out of state for work for 2 of those months. And unfortunately, I realized recently I have bed bugs. I'm horrified and I can't afford a professional exterminator. I'm doing the best I can and working nonstop to take care of it. I was so embarrassed to tell him, but I felt like I had to, especially since he's coming back soon. And we talked about him staying with me for a couple of nights or so. Obviously, he can't now, but he's being so sweet. He said he wants to help me when he gets back. He said he's had it before years ago, so he knows how I feel. We live in Florida, a state where bed bugs are very common. I'm just curious, would you still see someone knowing that they had them? Or would you run away? Girl, this is a mention of any kind of bug. People tell I was going out with this guy and he moved to Arizona and bought a house and he's like, oh, come visit me. And the next thing he told me was that he found some scorpions because it was a new build. And it turned out that there was a scorpion nest somewhere on this development. So all the people had scorpions just flying out of their yards and coming in the house and all stuff like thousands of scorpions. Them little, I was like, oh hell no, I'm not going there. I don't even want to talk to you. And that was that. And bed bugs, no. Because I've seen people with their bed bug bites and they'd be itching. They're just horrible. No, we're not gonna do that too. But you get you some of that diaphanous earth and sprinkle that all around your house. That and put all of your mattress and everything like that, rub it on you. Because what that would, I mean, it'll take a few weeks because they, lay their little eggs and whatnot. So you got to wait for the eggs to hatch. But it has sharp edges, so it makes all the little insects and other kind of insects as well, like dust mites and stuff. It scratches open their ectoskeleton and then they die. And it's non-toxic to pets, non-toxic to people. I mean, you look ashy, but at least you won't be having bed bug bites. I can tell you that. So look into that. You probably need, I don't know how big your place is, but you're going to need to douse your house in it a couple of times to get rid of them. But I hear that it works really well. I use it on my carpets for bed, what you call them, dust mites. I sprinkle it around, let it stay there for a couple of hours, and then I vacuum everything up. That's what I do every week. Question number 13. This is a male in the 18 to 21 age group from Baltimore, Maryland. Term issue: I'm a piece of shit. I'm 19, have been close friends with my boy Mo. He's also 19 for over 4 years. We had our ups and downs. One day, me, him, and my best friend were chilling and we're smoking the Herbalicious in his car, just chilling. And Mo asked us what we thought of him as a friend. My best friend is eloquently spoken person, so he was able to describe what he thought efficiently. I, on the other hand, was much more faded than the rest of them, and my only response was that he was stupid as fuck. Oh, wow. Mo is relatively immature compared to us when it comes to many things, so a lot of our conflicts start because of him. But the way I put it, I was downright rude. I called him incredibly stupid and stupid as fuck, and basically every other combination of the word. But what I actually wanted to say was that even though he makes stupid mistakes, I still love him. Though I will give myself the benefit of the doubt that I was too high to come up with anything else, they were incredibly shitty things to say to your bro nonetheless, and I have no excuse. I noticed his change in energy and mood afterwards, and I felt terrible. Though I gave him an apology after, I still feel bad, and I want him to know that I love him like a brother and didn't mean the things that I said. Maybe this is one of just those things that they take time to fix, but man, I feel like a huge piece of shit. This is definitely a wake up call to me to become a nicer person. Not sure. I'm still not sure about what I should do to properly reconcile with him. So any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. You're going to man up and you're going to go to his house. And if he wants to punch you in the eye, you're going to let him do it. Where's my? I had some iced tea. I don't know where I put the cup. I lost it. Anyway, yeah, you're just gonna do that, and then you're gonna tell him, you know, I'm really sorry that you that I said that to you. I didn't mean to say it that way. Um, I was really messed up. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm doing something here. Oh no. I'm trying to fix something on this channel where I'm streaming. Uh, mm, 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 mm. All right. Yes, Ash. Look at Ashton showed up all late. I don't blame you. Don't think I'm mad at you because I admit I have not been here. So I'm just glad you all came wandered in. Let's move on. Question 14. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from Calgary, Canada. So her issue: my new boyfriend is so incredible that it is setting off my anxiety because I'm afraid that he's too good to be true. I'm 25 and I met this guy who was 31 in January. He pursued me at a healthy pace. He didn't love mommy, and his personality was consistent. But 3 weeks ago, he officially asked me to be his girlfriend. He takes me grocery shopping because I told him my hours were decreased at work. He sends me money to get my nails done and my hair. He respects my need for time alone, buys me food, and takes me out on wonderful, thoughtful dates that he plans and thought of as on his own. Understand this is the honeymoon phase, which is why I'm afraid that he's too good to be true. And I'm self sabotaging instead of just enjoying it. He goes above and beyond for me and doesn't expect anything in return. I do feel worthy of a healthy relationship, but when something is so good, it raises my anxiety a bit. I do notice he goes above and beyond for his mom and dad and his brother too. I think this is just the way he shows his care and love. How can I stop self sabotaging? Well, see, when you don't think that you deserve to be treated well, that's how you act. Who can help you with this? A shrink. Can I do anything about this? No. This is something that's deep seated in your feelings of being unworthy and not, being good enough. So that's something that you need to work on with a professional. I can't do anything about that other than refer you because that's what I identified as the root cause of why you're thinking the way that you're thinking. But this is how men are supposed to treat you. See, but it just shows that you haven't experienced that, so you have no clue that you think something's wrong. So you self-sabotaging instead of saying, "Oh, finally somebody that has some damn sense and knows how to treat his girlfriend." So you're looking at this wrong, chick. Question number 15. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from San Mateo, California. Summary issue. How can I stop caring about my partner's past and build my self-esteem? I've been recently struggling a lot with retroactive jealousy. Wow. Is there such a thing? Thinking about my boyfriend's past partners and hookups, etc. I'm 21 and he's 20, but he's been with 5+ partners, and most of them were hookups, while I've only been in serious relationships. So, have there been 5 serious relationships? I mean, what's the difference? I don't see the point of this whole discussion here. Maybe it's just me. He's also kissed 20+ people from clubs and events, etc. Well, I've only kissed people I have dated. This wasn't a problem for me until we started getting closer and more serious. I want to stop thinking about this and was being upset over something like this because I can't control it. Can I hear your detailed perspective on this? Example, why you don't care about your partner's past and don't get jealous so that I can find a new way to look at this? He's a great guy and treats you so well. I'm scared this will ruin our relationship. What will ruin your relationship is, see, when a man is stupid and is insecure and he wants you to feel insecure like him, that's when they tell you stuff like this. But see, since you're so young, you're 21, he's 20, you haven't had enough experience with men, and you didn't have no parents like mine to tell you about the games that people run and why they do it. What you are supposed to do when he starts telling you, that he's who he's been with and all that stuff, you say, "Up, stop talking. I do not give a fuck about where you stuck your dick before you came along over here. Keep it to yourself. I know you try to tell me because you think you're gonna make me jealous or you want to brag. I don't really know what your game is here. But a gentleman does not kiss and tell. A gentleman don't fucking tell. So the fact that you think that you're gonna sit here and tell me that shows that you're an idiot. And so you know what? Let's break up. Now, that's how that would have went down if it was me because he's stupid and doesn't have enough sense to know. Like I said, it's either one of them two things. Either he's stupid and he doesn't know that he's not supposed to tell you those things, or number two, he's doing it intentionally because he wants to make it seem like he's like this big time player, lover, lover, and so that you would be intimidated by his skills and his, how many people want him and all this other shit here. So it's one of those two things. And it's usually the latter. So you know, you got a man who's going to try to play you like that to just mess with your head. You don't want him. So, you guys listening to this, if you want to run to a girl and start telling about all the other women, your conquests and stuff like that, you're a fucking idiot. Shut your mouth. Okay? Shut your mouth and keep it to yourself. You want to talk about some shit like that, tell your diary or your buddies or something, but you don't ever tell a woman that you're trying to get with or are with some shit like that. So to be like me, she would cuss you out. But most women are going to be like her. So I hope you heard what I'm saying here, young lady. Get you some game. Okay, get your mind right. You're going to be out here dealing with these dudes that have more street smarts than you. And he's younger than you, and he's still running circles around you. And you didn't even see the game. and you let them get in your head like this. This is the number one rule of being an adult woman. You do not let men get in your head. You don't let them run you, and you don't let them get say stupid stuff to you to make you get off your center. Maintain your queen status and your balance is equilibrium at all times. You stay focused on what's going to be best for you, and all the other shit that comes your way, you just blow it off. This is one of those situations and one of those people that you should have blown off. Okay. This guy. Mm-mm. Question number 16. Female 28 to 34 from Danville, California. The male is 35 to 41. Summary of issue. My friend is a biohazard. That's what it says. One of my two best friends, I live with Jay, who I've known for 5 years, and I'm very close with C, who I've known for 2 years. They are good friends in their mid 30s, while I am 29, even though I spend more time with them one on one than together. C comes from a southern state where dental care is not common. His teeth are visibly messed up. They stick out at strange angles, but it's more unusual than off-putting, and that doesn't bother me. What does bother me is the smell. Sometimes it's not perceptible at all, but other times you can smell it from up to 7 feet away. What? He must not brush or floss ever. Even if I know he's brushed his teeth that day, it smells a bit like pond water, but overwhelmingly like dead animals. Deb, if we're in the car together, wait. If we're in the car together, the window has to be open in order to breathe. If we're at coffee, I typically look down, and when he speaks, I cover my drink. We still spend time together because it hasn't been too bad until it escalated recently. He's very sensitive about the issue and worries people will talk about it behind his back. He has no insurance and extra money, and I generally suggested a new program in our area that fixes teeth if he feels insecure about it is open to try, and even mentions the time I dealt with similar health issues. Yeah. He has been grateful for the info, but has made no effort to pursue it. C constantly complains that he's getting older now and still can't get girls. He's otherwise attractive, intelligent, and funny, and has a cool, very stable job, lots of talent, knowledge, and passion in his interests. He's a charismatic with friends and otherwise an absolute joy to be around. But I have no idea how to tell him that this is almost certainly the sole issue. Flash forward to the other day. We had a game night at our house, which we do often, and I made cocktails. He put his half-finished glass near the bookshelf where I couldn't find it for 2 days until I was doing a weekly deep cleaning and went looking for it. I was horrified to find a full glass with a diversity of mold and bacteria cultures that has somehow managed to form in an alcohol glass in less than 2 days. Okay, can you imagine what? See, this, I'm telling y'all, this is why I used to not kiss people. This right here. That what she's talking, I always imagine that happening. So I would be looking at people, I'd be like, oh no, your mouth don't need to come nowhere near mine. Oh my God, can you imagine? And alcohol that kills everything? My roommate, who knows about his issue and is banning him from the house, would like for my immune safety that neither of us hang out with them until the problem is fixed. He's right. In the past few months, I've started seeing more signs of perio illness in myself, and I'm worried I'll have to go through treatment again, which was extremely rough on my body because of my illness. C has also expressed romantic interest in me in the past to myself and our friends, which, although he seems to have dropped, I'm not completely sure. I shut this down long ago and I made it clear that we will not be partnered ever in the future. Still, I also want to be clear to him again that even if he fixed his teeth, our friendship will stay as is. I'm his closest friend, and I'm still wondering whether I should even be the one to mention this again, or if he needs to know other people have a problem with it. None of my previous recommendations that he get help for this have been taken seriously. How can I tell him if he doesn't fix this issue, we won't see each other again? Because you being all gentle and stuff. You're supposed to say, you nasty, yuck mouth motherfucker. You got teeth at all these different angles and shit that you drink in a glass with alcohol that kills everything. And you still could grow bacteria in it. Your mouth is a biohazard, just like you said. That is like so nasty. I mean, the dentist, when he goes to this, they probably gonna have to throw them utensils away after they use them on dude. There's not that much sanitation stuff in the world. It can't just be one tooth, Kiki. This has to be no, she's not kissing them. They're friends. Um, she, this is more than one tooth. He probably has like some. He needs a root canal. He's got some gum disease. It's a bunch of stuff going on in his mouth. if all this is happening. And what's so bothersome, worrisome about it is when you have those kind of things going on, that affects your heart valve. So he's going to need a valve replacement at some point in his life. He needs some antibiotics to clear that stuff up. This is terrible. This is terrible. So that's how I would talk to him, because you being all genteel and nice and gentle and stuff. I'd be like, yo, my mouth is funky. We're not gonna talk to you. Don't come back to my house. You ain't touching nothing. Your mouth, you ain't gonna drink out of my cups. Nothing's going on in this house until you get your shit fixed. That's just nasty. And nobody, no woman's gonna smell him and want to be going lip locking with him. Mm-mm. Question number 17. This is a male in 20 to 34 age group from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Summary of issue. My girlfriend is incredibly insecure and is damaging our relationship. And my perception of her, is there anything that can be done? Long story short, we met last year through a mutual friend and we immediately hit it off. We are really different, but at the same time, really similar, and I feel we balance each other well. A few months ago, she began having problems with her roommate, saying they didn't include her and didn't really appreciate her. Immediately after, she started saying similar things to me with comments like, "You don't appreciate me. You don't think I'm enough. You actually don't want to be with me. You feel sorry for me," and so on. I have been supportive and she acknowledges that, but now our relationship is built on a constant need for validation and reassurance. I understand that almost everyone wants to feel loved and confirmed, but this is almost a daily occurrence. Here are a few examples. She's an artist, and after the issues with her apartment, she stopped painting. For Valentine's Day, I organized a home cooked meal and brought a canvas for both of us to share. And she immediately said, "You could be doing this with any girl. It hurts me a lot." Wow. We were out with her friends, and it was 4 in the morning when I mentioned that I was very tired and needed to go home. Normally, she would come with me, but that night a friend was staying over at her place, so she did it. Her response was, "It hurts me a lot that you want to leave. You don't want to be here." I went with her to a comic convention that she was interested in, and afterwards we enjoyed a picnic at a park. And she said, "It really hurts me when we when we break up, this won't happen again," and started to cry. Oh, she's a loony. When I invited her to a friend's birthday party, she asked if I really wanted her there, and she ended up arriving several hours late because she was convinced I didn't want her at all. I have tried to be supportive, empathetic, and validate her feelings and making adjustments so that she doesn't feel insecure, but this has become a constant part of our interactions. Every time we meet, we spend at least 2 hours talking about what made her feel insecure, and I can see in her face that once I reassure her, it's like she's getting a fix. Yeah, because you stupid. She always looks at me with a hint of panic, waiting for something to confirm that I might not love her or prefer to be somewhere else. And I worry that this cycle is creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. She began therapy, but she said it stirred up issues she didn't want to face, and then she switched to someone who seemed more like a life coach than a therapist. But yesterday I snapped at her. She was talking about missing her hometown and how happy she would be during the Easter break there. And when I suggested that since she can work from home, maybe she should stay a few extra days, her reaction was to ask, "What? Don't you want me here? Do you want me to stay there forever? We had said that we see each other after Easter. Don't you want that?" She went on at length about it, and I lost my temper, telling her that she was torturing me and that the situation was unbearable. I felt like I couldn't do or say anything without her suddenly feeling incredibly insecure, as if my only role in life is to validate her, leaving little room for anything else but relationship issues. Needless to say, that hurt her feelings, and although we talked it out and ended on acceptable terms, the lingering feeling remains. I don't want to break up with her because I love her, but I still see the real person behind this insecurity. But I also feel that part of me may have contributed to making things worse. It did, and I simply can't continue like this for much longer. This behavior just started 5 months ago, which is almost half the time that we've known each other. Maybe we're just incompatible, or maybe this isn't meant to work out. I don't want to keep hurting either of us. What should I do? The next time she says, okay, let me go back because I don't want to misquote quote the young idiot. The next time she says, uh, "You don't think I'm enough," you say, "You're not." And she says, "You don't want to actually be with me," say, "No, I don't, because you get on my goddamn nerves." And you feel sorry for her. "No, I have time to feel sorry for you because you're too busy feeling sorry for your damn self. And you don't appreciate me. What's there to appreciate? All you do is whine and bitch and complain about every goddamn thing. There's nothing to appreciate. You get on my goddamn nerves." Okay, so she went out with her friends and stuff and said, "It hurts me that you want to leave. You don't want to be here." Why would I want to be in the house with two bitches? I'm not trying to be up here with you and your friend. You sound stupid. Deuces. That's how I would have handled it. And I'm a woman. I'm not. I don't like to get these kind of manipulative little games that people like to play. I'm not down with that. My brothers aren't either. We're just always we're kind of we're in our family. I guess we could kind of assholes, but we just we don't do this. We don't do this kind of stuff. And so when I see people, for you walked into this trap. Soon as she started with this stuff, she was asking for she began having problems and saying they didn't include her and appreciate her and saying those things like that, and you try to be supportive and reassure her and all stuff. See, that's exactly what you do not do. You do not reassure people when they act like that. You agree with them. And then people say, well, why would you do that? That's so cruel. It's like, well, my Deborah's logic is this. You know yourself better than anybody else. So if you think that you're not enough for me, that damn it, that means that you're right. If you think that I don't appreciate you, you're right. If you think that you're not good enough, you're right. Everything that you say about yourself lacking and being stupid and being unworthy, you're right because you know yourself better than me. And since you feel, since that's the reality of who and what you are, I really don't see any reason for me to be here. So I'm boop out. And that may sound rude, cruel, and all those kind of things, but it's real. You cannot live your life trying to placate people who play you like this. They feed off of that. They try to make you feel bad and guilt trip you because they feel, lesser. And so you have to go through all these changes and jump through all these hoops to try to bring them at, to level that makes them feel good about themselves. Be like, bitch, fuck you. I don't give a shit what you feel. You want to feel like you ain't good enough? Have at it. Go for it. Make the magic happen. Question number 18. Oh my God, this is just taking forever. I got to stop talking so much. She's 22 to 27 from New Jersey. Summary of issue. How do people not catch feelings in casual relationships? I will share my thoughts with you after we read your letter, see where you went wrong. Being someone who is only interested in relationships, I could never understand casual things. Since many people prefer casual relationships, I wonder how they can spend all this time with one person, maybe even know things about each other and have a good time together, but not want to date them. If anyone's boring me or we don't banter, I wouldn't hang out with them at all. It seems like if you're with someone who engages in casual nook, that stuff doesn't matter. But how do you never become interested in them? I am genuinely curious as I'm on the opposite side of things. I also want to know if you know anyone who actually ended up dating someone they were in a casual relationship with. Has it ever been the case with you, Deb? Nope. Because I know some women who, be out of boredom or whatever, they settle on the guy who they were not really interested in and just, had as his hookup. Probably some dudes do the same thing. But with me, it's like I know if I'm gonna be interested in you like within a few minutes of meeting you. Just, your initial presentation, your conversation, your posture, your greeting, the look in your eye. Do you look me in my eye? Let's start there. Your handshake, do you even do one? How do you present yourself? And you can tell so much by a man just looking at him. If you know what to look for, within 60 seconds, you can read his ass and know what kind of dude he is. If he's confident or not. If he's going to be a success, like he's really young or not. If he's a man who's about something or not. If he's just a knucklehead or not. If he's that controlling, abusive type or not. You can see it all. But you just have to pay attention. They tell themselves right away. They can't hide it. What happens though is women have these go through life with these rose-colored fairy tale happily ever after glasses on, and so you see the man as a fool, a jerk, an asshole, but you don't want that to be the case because you want a relationship with him, so you downplay it. You try to ignore it. You try to whitewash it. Well, it's not that bad. Well, he didn't mean it. Well, it just, he won't be like that with me. It'll be different. I'm better. I'm magical. And then you end up getting played because reality was there. You didn't want to accept it. That's what happened. So now, as far as this casual hookup thing, so if you're not really interested in a man and you might like him enough to want to try it out a time or two, but that don't mean you don't want a relationship with it. There might be some other reason, like he's good in the sack, but he don't have no money. He ain't about shit. He lives with his mother and he's broke. He's stupid, no education, but he can lay that pipe. Well, then an exception may be made for a short while, for a little dalliance, and then you be on about your business. So, as far as, catching feelings for it, I don't even catch feelings when I probably should. So you probably asking the wrong person this question. Somebody else might have an answer. I just don't care. I just don't care. And if you don't really give a shit about, what they be talking about, then you don't get attached. And if you don't get attached, then get up and you say, "Oh, that was lovely. That was fun. Let's do that again sometimes," whether you mean it or not. Remember Robin Givens in the movie with, what was it called, when she was with Eddie Murphy and she was walking out, she waved over her shoulder like that? It's that same attitude. Like, yeah, check you later. It's that same attitude. Yeah, you can like I said, you like them enough to, want to go horizontal with him, but you don't like him like romantically. You don't care if he's seeing other people. You don't care if some women if he's married or living with somebody, they don't care to that level. So she doesn't have that attitude though. She's the kind that needs a relationship, and she's the kind that the guys would come in right away because they always want to test you. They boomerang, thank you. They want to test you by talking about, well, I was thinking about, me and you being a couple. You somebody, you just what I've been looking for, girl. Let's not waste no time. I want you to be my lady. So they know if you bite and you just barely met this clown, and you be like, okay, that you're this type like her. You only gonna get busy in a relationship. So one relationship coming right up. Whereas if you tell them, I'm not trying to be in no relationship with your ass, get out of here. You tripping. Who you think want to be tied up with you? There's a whole world of men out there, and they all fine and got more money and look better than you and probably got bigger equipment and everything else going on. I'm not gonna be stuck with you. If you here for the minute, just like me. Let's do this, and then we gonna go about our business. That's it. Let's move on. Question number 19. This young lady's 22 to 27 from Chico, California. So I have an issue. My boyfriend needs reminders for him to think of me. Wow. And you still with him? He's 25 and I'm 22, and we've been together for 4 years. We're at the point where we're starting serious jobs and we want to move in together. But one thing is holding me back. For the entirety of our relationship, there's been the same hurdles to overcome again and again. I need reassurance, and my boyfriend struggles to give me that. I guess reassurance is a love language of mine that he doesn't speak, literally. Now that means you need to jump on somebody's couch and get that shit fixed. Nobody, just like the girl who was before the other letter, nobody want to be bothered giving you reassurance their whole life. Do that to your damn self. It's called having self-esteem. When you don't have any and you looking for other people to define you and tell you that you okay every day, 24 hours a day, that shit is fucking exhausting. Nobody can have a good relationship with you when you need reassurance all the damn time. It's fucking exhausting. And no matter how much they might like you at first, they gonna fall out of love with your ass real quick because they're not getting anything from the relationship. It's all one way. You sucking the blood and life force and everything else out of them with your fucking reassurance neediness. Just bullshit. So let's see what other drama she got going on. The first time I brought it up, it was regards to him never complimenting me. I would spend hours getting ready, doing my hair a different way, putting on a nice new dress. He wouldn't say anything. So one time I told him it made me feel a little insecure. He said I get enough compliments from other people. He didn't think it would matter if he gave them too. He wasn't wrong. I often get compliments, but I don't care about other people's opinions. I want to hear from him. And after that, I started to notice it in other things. We usually call once a day, but he never lets me hear from him otherwise. No good morning text, no good night text. We go on a trip, there's no safe flight text, nor does he tell me he misses me or anything. For celebrations, I usually make him a card. He's not very artistic, so I would never expect the same, but he doesn't even buy a card. He uses old ones he has from museums or holidays or whatever. One time for Valentine's Day, he literally gave me a card from a postcard book I had gifted him one time. Excuse me. He'll give me flowers for Valentine's Day, but that's not throughout the rest of the year. I brought all this up many times, but we have always come to the same point. I tell him I feel neglected in this way and I'd like a little more reassurance, a little more attention. Then I console him because he tells me that he's trying very hard and he doesn't know what else to do. He says he does think of me, but it doesn't come up for him to tell me. But I love him so much, and I hate to keep hurting him by bringing this up, but his lack of thoughtfulness also hurts me. I want to build a future with him, but it's hard when I'm the only one who thinks about that future. In every other way, I feel very connected to him. He understands me, and sometimes he will say or do something that makes me think he's really listening, or I'll start to question how important these small things are that I put so much pressure on him. It's like I get stuck in this disappointment because when I dress up or go away, I drop a hint that tulips are back in season. I build up anticipation, even though I know that my expectations are too high. Sorry for the rambling. How can I find a middle ground with him? How can we break this cycle? Is there a way I can remind him without it feel like I'm the only one putting in the work and thus it feeling ingenuine? Or do I need to work toward letting this go? Yes, you let it go and you let him go. Let me tell you why. What you ladies don't seem to fucking get is you always write me asking how you can communicate it in a way that he understands. What you really mean is what can I say to make him do what I want him to do or give me what I want? And I'm going to tell you flatly, it's never going to happen. Think of all the times that you have explained, over explained, requested, hinted, all these things at him, and it still hasn't happened. Don't you understand it's going to seep through your thick head that this is not the man for you? You need a man who's gonna be all up in your face and giving you compliments and being just like extra for you to feel insecure. I don't know where they have men like that, but that seems to be what you think is, you're gonna have, and you're gonna be unhappy with a man like this who's just regular. So, your needs aren't getting met, and then flip it around. That means his aren't either. So there's no point in this. He wants a woman who's confident on her own, who doesn't need constant propping up and compliments and all this kind of stuff. That's not you. You're very needy. He doesn't want a needy woman. He doesn't know what to do with you. It's not his, y'all is like this. Okay, he needs a woman who's very confident in herself and who can tell herself that she's beautiful, tell herself that she's all that, and doesn't really need it from him. I mean, if it comes, it's nice, but if it doesn't, then she still feels just as great and wonderful about herself as she did any other time. That's what he needs. That ain't you. So you two are just incompatible. Might be two nice people, but it's never going to work. You're gonna keep driving him crazy. You're gonna, ask him for stuff over and over till he feels burdened by it, and then he dumps you. Question number 20. This is a female, 18 to 21, from Los Angeles, California. Term issue: my boyfriend and I were mugged. He ran away and left me alone with the mugger. I can't see him in the same light anymore. Yesterday, I was hanging out with my boyfriend, and we were in a not so great part of the city. Suddenly, a guy approached us to ask for directions and asked us to help him get there, and we helped him. Stupid, I know. After getting there, he pulled out a knife and asked for all our money. My boyfriend ran away and left me alone with the mugger. Luckily, he just wanted money, so I gave him all the money I had and he went away. After that, I went inside a bar and called my parents. My parents were furious with my boyfriend and tried to call him, but he did not pick up. We then went to the police and then returned home, and maybe after 2 hours, I received a call from my boyfriend asking me where I was and telling me he alerted the police. I exploded on him and he did not even apologize, but kept telling me he did the best he could. My question is there any way to recover from this? My image of him is shattered. No, he's a coward and a punk. Because just like he ran away to save himself, not saying that I mean, he was gonna run away, he should have ran, pulled you with him. Or both of y'all gave the guy your money and then walked away. But he just left you there because that's gonna be the thing where the man sees you by a woman by herself and horrible things could happen to you while he ran away. So you already know that he's not the protective type at all. He worries about himself. So you called your parents. You think your daddy's gonna let that motherfucker set foot in his house again, sit under his table and pick up his daughter? Do you actually honestly even think that that has a chance of happening? If your father was like mine, he would have something. He said, "Yeah, you can bring your ass over here. I got something for you." And he'd be sitting there with his Oscar cocked and ready for him to walk through the door. That's because my father was crazy like that. So it's not. your best bet to save his life and keep your daddy from jail is to never talk to this motherfucker again. Go to your phone, block his number, and don't ever talk to him again. Okay? He ain't about you. Wow, what a knucklehead. Question number 21. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from South Bend, Indiana. Summary of issue: can't we just meet in public? I'm 26 and lately I've been chatting with guys on apps, dating apps, and it's just been really draining. I know not all guys are like this, but it's been my experience and it's frustrating. I feel like some people don't consider a woman's perspective when it comes to personal safety. I'm very cautious when meeting new people, especially from the apps, because my safety is a huge priority. I just can't risk being in a private space with someone I barely know. I made it clear that I don't want them picking me up, coming over, or having me to over to their place, but it feels like some guys don't respect that. Is it really so much to ask to meet in a public neutral space and take things slow? I feel like my safety should be a basic priority, not something that's questioned. Why are men like this? Because they after one thing. And they don't even have no cool about it. They want you to be, they want trying to be in as close proximity to a mattress as possible. That's why that's is going on the way that it is. That's the part that you young ladies on these apps just can't seem to fucking get. Them dudes not looking for a relationship. Y'all are on there looking for a commitment and love and marriage and happily ever after. Them dudes are looking to get their dicks wet. That's it. That's all they there for. That's all they want. So you said, your reasons for signing up on it are completely opposite. So you're sitting there, oh, I want to take it slow. I want to get to know you. Just can we meet in public and all this kind of stuff. And they like, well, why? I'm not trying to know you. I just want to get my dick wet. Come on. That's the thing. That's where you're having a disconnect. Once you ladies accept that reality, this dating app stuff would dry up because the only reason it stays, around making money is because people keep hoping that they're gonna, magically meet somebody new, different, and better. It's not gonna happen. Has it happened so far? You think everybody's like, well, I know somebody. Okay, you know one or two people. What about all the thousands of people that it blew up in their face? They got mistreated. Some of the women get, stalked or worse. I mean, bad things be happening with these knuckleheads on these apps. So even to the guys, they get like set up and robbed and stuff. So it's not, I just not a fan. Not a fan at all. I don't understand it. It can't be that bad out here. Let's move on. Question 22. Female 22 to 27 from Daly City, California. Some issues. The difference between dating a woman versus a man is insane. Why is this? I'm a 24-year-old bisexual woman. I strictly dated men before realizing that I was bi and I was kind of awful. And it was kind of awful, LOL. I was so anxious and irritable all the time. I'm dating both men and women casually now after being single for 8 months. When I date men, I feel terrible. I'm so anxious, irritable, and feel overall miserable. This sucks as I do love men and find them super attractive. But when I date women, it feels amazing. Still feel nervous, but it's an excited, nervous feeling. I also feel so light and happy too. It's insane the difference I feel when I date women versus men. Why is this? Because you should think of yourself as bi, but it sounds like you lesbian to me. If you feeling all of everything that you feel is positive is when you're with women. So why are you bothering with men? I'm not. I mean, you can have male friends and stuff. You don't have to date them. You can have, buddies. But I mean, haven't you thought about that? I mean, I picked that up just from reading what you wrote. You don't need to ever be around a guy if you feel anxious, irritable, and miserable. Why would you force yourself to do that? Just to say that you're bi? Even that doesn't seem to be the case. You have no real attraction or interest in these guys. Stop it. Okay? Don't do that to yourself. The main thing with life, you got to know yourself and then you respect yourself. Respect your choices and understand who and what you really are. And with that kind of acceptance comes a sense of peace and happiness, which until you get over this I'm bi thing, you're not gonna find because you're still fighting it. You're firmly in the women camp. Just stay there. Question number 23. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Toronto. Suburb issue. I called it quits with her. Well, that's probably a good idea. A lot of people that write to this column need to do that. I'm now a 27-year-old single guy. Deb, I called it quits with the girl that I've been dating. It's not quite a success story, but I've been out of the dating game for about 18 months because I was in a relationship with ended in January. I started talking to this beautiful South American woman, and the chats were great, and we organized a date. I made reservations at a nice cocktail bar and expensive restaurant for after, and got canceled on the day before she was sick. Okay, no biggie. It happens a lot. I know she likely wasn't sick, but whatever. We had good conversation. So I said, no problem. We'll reschedule. Well, she may have been. You're right. I mean, she may have been, though. That's how I get sick. First, I'm fine, and 20 minutes later, I'm dying. We rescheduled for tonight, and she messaged me 2 hours before saying, "Will you hate me if I ask to reschedule again?" She was working and was exhausted. Again, could be true, maybe, maybe not, but regardless, I decided something I had never done with a good looking girl when I was last single. I decided to show some self respect. I told her, hey, that's all good, but to be honest, I made dinner and drink reservations twice. We canceled on the last minute both times, so I think I'll leave it here. You seem sweet and it was nice getting to know you, though. So, yeah, pretty much the opposite of a success story, but I'm so glad I did that because I never would have done that before my last relationship. If I'm putting in effort, it would be nice to have it in return. Good job. If the shoe were on the other foot, I don't think she'd tolerate me being, quote, tired. LOL. I also lost $120 in the last minute cancellation fees over the last two times she canceled, which made me think she has no respect for my time and effort. Anyway, slight rant, but yeah, I'm proud of myself. So yay me. What do you think, Deb? Oh yeah, I just said I'm proud of you. I wish more young people that wrote this column had those kind of boundaries and that kind of self-respect. Because you're right. I mean, the first time, yeah, you give people the benefit of the doubt, and so because people do get sick like that at the last minute and suddenly like that. But the second time, no. So you didn't even let it get to three strikes you out. She was out on two strikes. Good job. I have no problem with how you handled yourself. It sounds like you did it, very respectfully, diplomatically, but you took care of yourself. And so I have no complaints. I think you did a good job. Good job. Carry that on into the future. Always, command your respect. Question number 24. This is a female in the 35 to 41 age group from Clayton, Ohio. Never heard of it. Summary issue. Dating as a single mom. Is it pointless? Another failed attempt at love. Are my expectations too high? Should I give up my attempts at meeting someone? Girl, you just got so many questions. I'm 35 and a single mom to an only child. I raise her alone, which is really rewarding and satisfying in many ways, as I'm a successful working mom with a job I love and a beautiful home for her. She's the most brilliant and adorable kid ever, and I try to give her everything. She's the reason I've been single so long, and I won't involve her in my dating life unless I'm certain that this person that actually hasn't happened yet, and she's already 5. I know a lot of people won't go near dating me because of her. And even though I've had people tell me it's a red flag, I keep her from them as it reeks of the trust issues I have involving my child. I have decent babysitting options and I use them for going on dates. This week, my average date starts at $60 before I even left my house. It makes no shows and cancellations even harder for me to put up with. It also makes dating someone more than once or twice a week impossible. This is often held me against quickly. This is often held against me quickly in potential relationships and has stopped them before they've really started due to me not having the time most people want to have with a partner. I end up being a quote good enough to hook up with end quote for way too many men who probably don't ever see me as a relationship potential because of my child. And while I'm pretty decent at spotting this right away and avoiding such men, sometimes I fall for the wrong ones anyway. Well, being lonely will do that. Once they've convinced me to give them what they want, they're gone. Until the next time they want it, that is. I understand why the newer generation is so block happy. I also don't want to hear from these guys in a month when they're horny again, and I've taken to blocking them so this doesn't happen. Do men who would actually date a single mom even exist? Should I give up trying? Because at this point, I just feel like I'm going to be alone forever, or until she's grown, at which point I'll probably be menopausal and not want to look as much anyway. Feels like I'm missing my 30s, but I also don't want to keep wasting it on dating the wrong guys. Girl, you worried about the wrong thing. Okay, you talking about that, I don't even know how to say this. There's so many perverts in the world, and a lot of them look for single mothers so they can have access to your kid. You're looking at it like your kid is causing you a problem and is the source of the reason why you're getting rejected. What I'm telling you is you need to flip that and think you're the fact that they're not going after you is saving your kid because once the bullshit happens, you can't undo it. You talk to people who's had those situations happen to them as children, and they still talk about it. They still, are messed up behind it. Therapy will help them come to peace with it, but it's for those most people don't get the therapy, so it's something they have to try to wrestle with for the rest of their life. That feeling of being violated and the people around them, like their mother and father, not protecting them. So I want you to reframe this. If you could, like, if you would know another single mother and y'all try to date, y'all switch. This is what I used to do: switch babysitters. We would switch off. So one weekend I would have the girls, and the next weekend she would have the girls, and no men would come in our houses while we had the girls. So the men, whoever didn't have a kid would do their thing, and then their child was safely with the other parent, and then we did that for a couple of years. And that worked. The girls got along, and we both knew that our child was safe and would be well taken care of while we was out doing our thing. And it was so I suggest look for something like that. It has to be a woman that has the same value system as you, who's gonna really be serious about, protecting the girls and keeping away from men that, could be a problem. So think about that. Who do you know who might be? And it could be more than just one of you. It could be three or four of you. And then, you guys could have more weekends free because there will be more people to take care of the girls. But like I said, you all have to have the same mindset, and there has to be a firm agreement that the weekend that each parent has the girls, no males, no weird females, nobody's in the house but that parent and the girls. That's it. And then if you could do that, then it'll work out okay. And you will save money too. Question number 25. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Lansing, Michigan. Sort of issue. My boyfriend said I'm not wife material and now I don't know how to act around him. Okay, why is he still your boyfriend? Well, you're only 18 to 21 though, so your ass ain't trying to get married yet anyway, so what difference does it make? Anyway, so this happened a few days ago and I'm still kind of spiraling. We were hanging out like normal, just joking around, and then out of nowhere, he said that I'm fun, but I'm not really wife material. He laughed after saying it like it was a joke, but it hit me weird. I'm only 19 and he is 21 anyway. When I asked what he meant, he listed stuff like me not cooking, being messy, not being serious enough. Then he told me I'm amazing, and he didn't mean it as a bad thing, but I haven't felt the same around him since. We've been dating for 4 months and honestly thought we were on the same page. But now I'm just stuck in my head like, does he not see a future with me? Should I say something or should I just let it go? I really like him and I don't want to overreact, but this kind of hurt me more than I expected. I don't want to start resenting him for something I never even brought up. How do I even start this conversation without making it super awkward? You don't start this conversation when you're 18 to 21. Let me give you, see, these young girls don't have no game. Okay. When a guy tells you what you're not, basically what he's done is drawn a line in the sand. And what he's telling you is, I don't see you as being anything that's going to be in my future. Okay. So now you know this because he said to you right to your face, if you continue to stay in a situation with him, he feels like, well, I already told her that it ain't gonna never be more than what it is right now. But you want to keep spending time with him, you want to keep sleeping with him, you want to keep investing emotions in him, money, effort, energy. You would just be stupid. You would be throwing good time after bad. He's already told you this is it. This is all you're gonna get out of me. Okay. At least he was honest. So I can't even be mad at him. He was honest. But you as a young lady have to start understanding when men communicate something to you, pay attention to what they're saying, listen, and then act accordingly. Don't downplay or dismiss what he's telling you and just running your own fantasy story game here. The man done told you, okay? And you like, he laughed when he was saying it like it was a joke. It's not a joke. You're 19 and he's 21. I mean, he knows what he knew what he was saying. You're not it. Okay. So tell him when you see him the next time, say, thank you for being honest with me and telling me that you don't see me as wife material. Not like I'm really looking for a husband right now anyway, but I also don't want any man telling me that I'm not good enough and I don't measure up. That's not going to really work for me. So fuck you very much. Get the hell out of my life and don't ever come back. And I'm going to block your ass, little monkey motherfucker. And just tell him about himself, okay? That's what you do. Now I'm going to read one more question. The last question I'm going to save because actually it's two more. This is like 28. This is wait, what in the world? She was doing the most. Okay, question number 26. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Summary of issue. Should I stay the full first date or walk out? I went on a first date a while back. And I wasn't really feeling much of a connection, but I stayed for the expected time period to give the guy a chance and just because I thought it was a polite thing to do. When I said I wasn't interested in pursuing it further, he implied that I should have walked out at the start of the date on the moment. Excuse me, I'm drinking this soda with these bubbles, I mean, this water with these bubbles in it. It's making me belch. I should have walked out the start of the date of the moment I wasn't feeling a connection, which surprises me because I would personally think that's rude. But I guess if you're on the app and go on enough dates, you prefer the time saved over politeness. I think I'm going to ask people early in the conversation which they prefer. And if no preference is given, I'll just say the expected time period, as I'd prefer getting a good sense of the person. But I still wanted to write in to ask this question and maybe hear perspective from the other people listening to the show. So what's y'all's vote? If you feel like it's not really working, do you want to stay the whole date to give the person a chance, or do you want to cut it short, stand up and walk out? Which one do you think is the best one to do? Let's see what some of y'all say in the chat. I would say, for me, it would depend. I don't want to say I have a hard and fast rule. Let me say this: if the person we it might not be a love connection, but if the person has me laughing and we are enjoying our conversation and it's like witty banter and interesting exchange of stuff going on, I would stay, but I would let them know, it ain't I don't feel that kind of connection with you. It's more of a friendship vibe. Are you okay with that? Because we could cut this short, or we could just sit here and hang out because it is fun talking to you. What do you think? You got this round, I'll get the next one, kind of thing. Just so he knows I'm not looking for him to be, sponsoring me or anything. It's just the friendship tip. I just enjoy talking to him. I would do it like that. But yeah, but if it's like, he's awkward or weird or the conversation's struggling and there's already no real interest and it's all of that is that strain, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I can see that there's nothing here that's gonna connect us. I'm going to leave, but it was nice meeting you. Then I get up and leave. So let's see, like I said, it's gonna depend on the guy. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is what I'm gonna absolutely do every time because I know me. I like if I meet somebody who's interesting. I talk to interesting people on planes, buses, on the train, on BART. I just don't really care, And it's like if the person is interesting, I would stay there and you could giggle and talk to him some more. If he's not, then I'm going to leave. That's yeah. The conversation has to be interesting. It has to be engaging, and if it's not, then there's no point. That's where I am with it. But anyway, I'm glad to be back. It's been about 6 weeks since I've been here. I just I just do stout on y'all, huh? I just like, oh, I'm gone. But now I'm back. I'll be back. I'm trying to get my setup better in the living room area where I can set something up in the corner and then that will be my where I can do my show till she moves back out. But I'll get it together. I'll figure out something so that I don't have the drama that I experienced in the last few weeks. But I'm glad to see all of you again. And if you want to send in a question, you got a question you want to send in to the advice, get your question answered. There's how you do it. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. So Debsterism.com the same name of this channel, Debsterism, and you click the button that says Get Advice. And then you fill out the little form and send it in, and then hopefully Candace will choose your letter. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys later. See you on Sunday.